take a comfortable seat. You can fold your blanket up a couple of times and sit on the very front edge of your blanket. Let your spine be long, so ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. If you look at your knees and your knees are higher than your hips, you can give yourself a little bit more of a boost, maybe using your block under your hips, or sometimes widening the space between your knees, making the knees go outward helps them to go down a little more. Inhale, exhale, big sigh out. Please press the palms together of your heart. Imagine a string from the crown of your head reaching towards the ceiling. Let your shoulders be soft. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. In most yoga practices, we breathe in and out through the nose during active movement. And the reason for that is really simple. It slows down the breath. It creates a steady quality to breath. So you don't have to change anything. Just breathe simply in and out through the nose. Allow the muscles of the face to be soft and relaxed. Maybe feel the corners of the lips turn up just a little bit. Soft smile. It's good to be here together. You can make your yoga practice, if you wish, into a little bit of a prayer for someone who might be in need, or some community or something, or some animal. There's a word for this in Sanskrit, sankalpa. Sankalpa translates as intention. So you can create an intention, sankalpa, for your practice that may be about another creature, or it may be about yourself, committing to keeping your mind right here on this yoga mat and not thinking about the things that are outside of that space. So when you have your intention, please take another deep breath in. Big sigh out. This is our cleansing breath, and this one does come out through the mouth. Bow down, committing to kindness in your motions, in your asana, and lift your chin. Open your eyes. Roll over onto all fours. And you can use your blanket under your knees if you'd like to. Spread your fingers really wide. And just drop your belly, pull your chest forward, and then exhale and round yourself up towards the sky. So this is cat pose. And as you drop the belly, this is cow pose, like sway back cow. Exhale and round. Inhale, belly down. Squeeze the shoulders back, pull the chest forward, back of the neck long. Exhale. Now if your breath doesn't match the pace that I'm going, then stick with whatever pace your breath moves. We'll do about 5 more of these. I'm going to see if I can turn the fan off so that the sound in my voice is clearer. So peaceful now. Inhale, belly down, heart forward. And exhale, round it up towards the sky. Find your way to neutral table position. And please reach your left leg up behind you. So it's right about at hip height. What usually happens is the hip loves to lift up. So kind of drop it down a little bit and make that leg quite long and active. Pull your belly in. You can take your right hand if you'd like to your low belly and just balance here. Not the easiest position to balance in, but a really powerful one for integrating your left hip strength, your glute strength specifically, with your core strength. Option to reach the right arm out in front of you, palm faces in, back of the neck long. Fullness in your breath. And then lower your hand down, lower your knee down, and then shake your tail a little bit. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So please reach your right leg back behind you. Pull your belly in, float your right leg up. Option to bring your left hand to your low abdomen so that you can really feel a sense of drawing in. I call it like a plank-like quality. Active through the right leg, pinky toes point down. Any shaking that you're experiencing here is great. Reach your left arm up by your ear, palm faces in. Stay steady in your breath, in and out through the nose. And lower the hands, hand and knee back to the floor. Separate your knees a little bit and curl all of your toes under. So all 10 toes, try to get your pinky toes as well. And we're gonna rock back and forth a couple times, just opening up the muscles in the feet. Ideally, the whole underside of your toes are down on the floor. If you're feeling really stiff there, this is quite important. Mobility in your feet, as well as strength, is really essential to basic activities in life. So it's worth spending a bit of time to get your toes moving. 2 more. Come back to table position. And go ahead and reach your left leg out behind you again. And we're gonna do 3 rounds of cat and cow, but this time with a little extra oomph. So this oomph is the left knee coming in towards the nose, pushing the floor away and really rounding your spine. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, curl it in and round your spine. Inhale back. Exhale, curl it in and round your spine. And we're gonna round, round, round so much that maybe you can bring the foot across. That takes some finagling, but take your time. And then once you have thigh over thigh or knee in front of knee, wiggle your feet apart from one another. Your right foot's gonna go over to the left side of your yoga mat, and your left foot's gonna go over to the right side of your yoga mat. And we're gonna push back and forth a couple times here, rocking back and forth. So this rocking back and forth, you might feel around your outer hips. You might feel it around your sacrum, around your tailbone. It gets to some muscles that don't always get the TLC that they deserve. So it's kind of a nice release for them. Any kind of rocking, any kind of oscillation or gentle repetitive movement, but in a small range. Usually our nervous systems like that a lot, like when you are rocked as a baby. Back to center. And unravel your legs just the normal way this time. Take 1 round of cat and cow. So inhale, belly down. Pull your chest through and really let your shoulder blades move back down your spine. And exhale, scoop everything in, push the floor away, let the head get heavy. Find neutral spine. Right leg reaches back behind you. Get it up to about hip height. And then exhale and curl it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach. 3rd time's the charm, so exhale, curl it in, push the floor away, really drill the foot in so much the knee in, so much that it can tuck over, cross over. And your right knee is in front of your left knee now, thigh over thigh, feet separate away from one another. Start to rock back and forth. So notice if this feels different on one side than the other. And just about 2 more rocks here. You're aiming to keep your spine long, so we're not trying to round ourselves back into this shape. We're trying to keep the spine nice and long. So it really is the hips stamping the wall behind us. Yeah, that feeling. When you're ready, come on out of it, unravel your legs. Take the knees nice and wide from one another. toes can touch. And sit back into child's pose. So a couple of options here. You can always come into child's pose at any point that you need a rest during your yoga practice. But if you like, you can put your forehead on a block in any of the positions. The point of this pose is to feel supported, not to feel like you have to do a lot of work. So sometimes when we're taking a resting pose in child's pose, I see people looking like this, like Superman arms. And you can actually just, instead of having these Superman arms inside your child's pose, you can soften completely. Occasionally, someone doesn't want to put their forehead on the yoga mat itself, which is totally fine. You can use the back of your head, your back of your hands, not the back of your head, or like I said a moment ago, the block in any of its heights. The thing I love most about child's pose is just focusing on breath in the back of the body, rather than in the front. And if your knees are touching the sides of your ribs as they are in this wide-legged variation, you might also be able to feel your ribs press into the inner thighs, and the inner thighs press into the ribs a little bit. Enjoy 2 more full breaths here. And then please look forward, set your hands into the floor, and now you can have those Superman arms. Shift forward into kind of a long table position. So a regular table position is shoulder over wrist, hip over knee, but a long table position is hands out a little in front, so longer. And we're just going to do some big circles here to feel the hips, and the shoulders, and the wrists. If your wrists get tired in yoga, really the first thing is to focus on strengthening your hands. Start your circles in the other direction, and that can take a while to build the strength in the hands to get used to putting so much weight through your hands. But you can always temporarily do fists, or it's a little tricky with my very thick yoga mat. You can always make a little bit of a ledge with your yoga mat and put the base of your hands on that ledge and the fingers down towards the floor. So 1 more circle in each direction here. And we're going to get rid of the blanket or the prop that you've got your knees on and come all the way down onto the belly. Again, make a pillow for your forehead with your hands. We're going to take the elbows wide and just lift up, just like this. So that you're starting to wake up muscles in your upper back. Try to lift it nice and high, but keep your feet heavy, like rooted to the floor. Lengthen down, lower down. And then lift up. Maybe take the arms into cactus this time. Football post shape as well. And lower down. Put the arms out into airplane. Inhale, lift up, float the arms, turn your thumbs up towards the sky. And exhale, lower down. Keep your right arm stretched right out next to you. Press your left hand into the floor, and bending your left knee, slowly roll onto your right shoulder. So you're going to turn towards the prop wall. Kathy, bring your arms straight out to the side, yeah. And then turn your body towards the prop wall and push into your left hand to get a little bit of a stretch. Kathy, you can push your left hand right in front of your shoulder or your face here, and that will help you. See how mine is on my yoga mat. Good. Stack your left shoulder over the right, and then unravel, and we're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. So left arm out, right hand in front of the face, and you're just rolling onto your left shoulder. So it's helpful both to strengthen the back of the upper back and the back of the shoulders, as well as to open up the front a little bit. Okay. So use this front hand to push in and give yourself a little rotation. How's that? Good. Yeah, good. come on out of this shape, and then bring your elbows right back under your shoulders, or bring your elbows under your shoulders for Sphinx pose, also known as TV watching pose. You're gonna press the elbows down, squeeze the shoulders back, lift your chest, and look over one shoulder, turning your whole chest as you go. And look over the other shoulder. Keep going back and forth a few times, drawing your right shoulder back as you look to the right, and your left shoulder back as you look to the left. Good, come back to center. And lower yourself down, hands float up off the floor. Make your legs really strong. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm really firming up my legs so that my kneecaps are lifted up off the floor. Float your shoulder blades up, your heart lifts, hands and elbows by your sides. Lift just using the muscles of your upper back. Root your hands into the floor, rise into a little bit of a cobra pose. Nice. The candy cane pose. Elbows are bent and lower down, vertebra by vertebra. We're gonna do one more strengthening thing here for the upper back, and it's also gonna involve the legs. So reach your arms out in front of you into a V shape. If you get any pinching in your shoulders, widen up your V a little bit so that it's a nice wide one. Chin or forehead to the floor, and lift your right leg. So you're trying to keep your knee straight and get a little air under your thigh. It takes a lot of glute strength, so keep it up, spread your toes, lift, draw your belly in, and lift your left arm. This one is not easy, so breathe through it. Use your inhale to maybe go a little bit higher, and your exhale to soften whatever clenching might be going on that's not necessary. So find a bit of ease even in the challenging quality of the pose. Lower down. Go ahead and make a little pillow for your forehead. Bend your knees and sweep your feet side to side. Let your feet really flop. Let your legs really flop. To the left and to the right. And then come back to center. Straighten out through your legs again. Open up your arms into a V shape. Reach your left leg up, pull the belly in, reach your right arm. So find a bit of ease within the challenge of this. There's obviously a lot of work going on, but find the challenge, the softness. 2 more breaths. Exhale, lower down. Walk your hands back to your low ribs. Try to press up as straight as a unit. Coming through table pose, curl your toes under, bring your knees together or parallel to one another this time. All 10 toes under. And we're gonna sit back into regular child's pose instead of wide knee child's pose. This time, do keep your arms active because we're using this as an interlude before downward facing dog. So I want you to keep the elbows lifted, push through the hands, feel that stretch along the soles of the feet because your toenails are pointed up towards the ceiling. And then fingers curl in, rise your hips towards the sky for downward facing dog. Let your hips shift a little right and left. Maybe bend your right knee for a breath. Bend your left knee for a breath. Please walk your hands now to the very back of your yoga mat. So you come into a forward standing fold. Grab hold of your elbows if you'd like. Shake your head left and right. Tiny bend in your knees. Lots of length in your spine. And then release your hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, soft bend in your knees again. Walk yourself right back out to downward facing dog. Good. Please Please lower your left knee to the ground. And I want you to spin on this knee. Feel free to use your blanket under here if you need the cushion. You're going to take your left foot off the side of the yoga mat. The sole of the right foot comes down to the ground quite naturally here. And then your right arm reaches towards the sky. Exactly. So I know that we're not in the hardest yoga pose ever, but I want you to embody the quality of plank here, kind of a drawing in of your belly, a strong strength in the leg, and if you feel comfortable, float your back foot up off the floor. This is only if you feel comfortable, if it won't bother your standing leg. Lots of energy fingertip to fingertip. Activate that back foot. Feel your side glutes kicking in a little bit. And then lower the foot, lower the knee, come back to child's pose for just a moment. Curl all of your toes under. Press into the arms, nice and active. Rise up to downward facing dog. So very rarely when you first start doing yoga will your heels touch the ground in down dog. But one of the things that you can do to help get your heels to the floor is to make your thighs really active, your quads specifically. Push them back, make them really strong, and maybe also lift your toes off the floor. I know it seems absurd to think about that since your toes are touching, your heels are off. But if you do the energy of lifting your toes off the floor, even if they don't budge, that's going to help activate the front muscles, which will help lengthen the back muscles of the legs. Go ahead and lower your right knee to the floor now. You're going to straighten your back leg, spin on the right knee, and then reach your left arm up towards the sky. The right foot goes off the side of your yoga mat. Find a plank-like quality here. Zip up through your core and maybe float your back leg up to hip height. Good. Any little shaking is good. Building strength, building quality. One more breath. Exhale, lower the foot, lower the hand, lower the knee, and take it right back to your child's pose for a moment. Shift forward all the way onto your belly. Make another pillow for your forehead. And please reach just your left leg up off the floor. As you lower it down, imagine your leg could get longer. So you're lowering it down really softly, and then lift your right thigh off the floor. So left leg is down, the right leg lifts. Good. Lift from the hip so that the thigh floats up. Knee stays straight. Good, and lower down. Left side again, we're gonna lift the left leg. Good, bend your knee now. And start to take it across your body, like all the way off the edge of the yoga mat. So get a little bit of a twist, a different kind of hip opener. I'm hitting the wall back here, but you could possibly even, maybe, get to the floor or to a block. And then slowly lower back down. Bend your right knee. Float the right thigh off the floor. You can feel the right glute being used to take the right leg over and across the body. So nice gentle twist. Opening on the front of the hip. Good, and then come back to center. And please lie on your side. You can use your blanket or your block under your head if you'd like. But lie on your side so you can see me. Bend your knees. Yeah, just stay cozy. And keep your feet together, but start to open your top knee like a clamshell, right? Good.
And then keep opening and closing the knee in a really steady way with your top hand on your top hip. The hand will give you feedback if your knee is going, if you're doing a lot of rotation. You want to avoid any rotation, and you simply want to work on opening and closing. Good. The next time you open your knee, float your foot up as well, and then point the knee towards the ceiling. Set the foot to the floor behind you. So your knee is pointed straight up. Straighten your bottom leg. And prop yourself up onto your elbow now. If you're comfy here, so you should probably be feeling a bit of a side stretch in the side waist. But if you're comfy here, you can also prop yourself up on your arm. Top foot is behind you. Reclining Buddha's pose. The top pelvis presses forward. And lower yourself back to your elbow if you were up on your hand. Lift your leg a bit and just straighten the leg straight up towards the sky. It doesn't matter how high it gets. Slowly, slowly, slowly lower the leg down. Stacking your hips. And roll it over to the other side. I'm going to swing around just so you guys can see me on the other side. So we start with our knees bent. And the knees are bent about 90 degrees, but the knees are below the hips, yeah? Feet are together. We're just gonna open and close the book a few times. Top hand steadies the pelvis so that what's really moving is the hip and the socket. Imagine there's an axis from the ceiling through the top hip to the bottom hip, or the top side of the pelvis to the bottom side of the pelvis. And don't let it rock back and forth. The next time you lift your knee, hold it there for a moment. And go ahead and slowly take the sole of the top foot behind you. So you're gonna lift the foot, step it behind you. Your knee now points towards the ceiling. Sole of the foot to the floor. Straighten your bottom leg. And prop yourself up on your elbow. You're probably already feeling a side stretch, but if you want to go a little deeper, you can straighten your bottom arm. And this is a reclining Buddha's pose. It's a really simple shape to get into a nice side stretch. A little complicated route to get here, so don't worry if you didn't get it entirely. Lower yourself back to your elbow if you're up on your hand, and then just raise this leg. So the raising of the top leg is not about how high you get it or how much you look like a rocket, but very much about holding it for a moment, feeling all of those muscles hold it up, and super slow motion, lower it right back down. Good. Please come onto your back. So you're just going to be straight up on your back. If you have your block, you put your block under your feet. And we're going to put your feet on the block. The block doesn't exactly match the size of the feet, but that's okay. So you're going to put your feet on the block as steady as you can. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Flatten your back. Press through your feet. Rise up, shoulders, hips, and knees in a straight line. Slowly lower down, vertebra by vertebra. So you might have to go really, really slowly through certain parts of your back. This should feel like more work in your legs than it typically does in regular bridge pose. That's what it should feel like. But to make it feel, specifically, I want you to feel it in your glutes here. So I want you to flatten your back even more, even in an exaggerated way. Lift up your tailbone and rise up. If you feel comfortable, if your heels are on the blocks, you can turn your toes towards the ceiling and lift the front part of your feet off the floor, just digging the heels in. And now you should feel it in your glutes quite strongly. Don't go too high, just keep it lifted. And exhale, lower down. Vertebra by vertebra. We have one more of these. Feet flat or heels into the blocks. You can maybe even take the block to the middle position, not the tall position for sure, but maybe the middle position. Dig your heels in and rise up one last time. Strong engaged core, posterior tilt of the pelvis, thighs hugging in, lots of work in your hamstrings, and slowly lower down. Flip the block back to the low position if you turned it up a notch. Set your feet on the block and let your knees open wide so you come into a bit of a Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta for supine, and Baddha Konasana means bound angle pose, so this diamond shape of the legs. Rock your knees a bit side to side. Take a deep breath in, and a big sigh out. Settling in. And then please draw your knees towards your armpits. Rock a little side to side here. Let your left knee come down to the floor. And please cross your right ankle over your left knee. So for many of us, we're going to be right here gently pushing the right knee away. And I recommend giving a little bit of a push-pull. So I'm going to push the right knee into the right hand for about 5 seconds. And then relax and press it a little further. If you don't feel any sensation here, this is very much part of your normal range of motion. You're comfortable here, you can sleep here. You can also lift your left foot up off the floor and grab either behind the left thigh or in front of the left shin. So you can open the right knee out a little more here. You can use your elbow of your right arm. Push the knee and the elbow together for a couple of seconds. And then relax. Rock a little side to side. Good, and slowly release. Set your left foot close to the left edge of your yoga mat, and your right foot close to the right edge of your yoga mat. And you're just going to rock side to side. If your block's still there, keep it out of the way. And then come back to center, cross your left ankle over your right knee. Set your right foot flat if it's not already. And then maybe draw the whole thing in towards your chest. So if your foot's flat, you're going to focus on pushing your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee and getting the knee to move further away from you here. Or you can come to center and draw your knees to your chest. And again, maybe use your left elbow. 5-second press, 5-second release. 5-second press, 5-second release. Stay here a little bit, maybe oscillating a bit side to side. And never force this one.
Yeah, so especially with the hips, but truly any part of your body. If you ever go to a yoga class and the teacher, you feel that you're being pushed into something, you don't have to go that far. I would recommend not using any of your body parts like a crowbar. So just have this gentle talking relationship, kind of the oscillation stuff I was talking about, the rocking side to side, and also the gentle pushing in and pushing out. Release
Both feet flat to the yoga mat again, to the edges of your yoga mat. So there's tons of space between your feet and the knees are deeply bent. And let your knees drop side to side about 3 to 4 times each side. If one side feels really good, you can hang out there for a couple breaths. Make the diamond shape with your legs again, so the soles of your feet come together. And draw your legs now back towards your chest, hands to the ankles or to the shins. Rock a little bit side to side. So Baddha Konasana, but now with the heels drawn in towards the chest or towards the navel. And from here, we're going to go straight into Shavasana. I recommend maybe using your blanket if it's within arm's reach, just rolling it up, placing it right under your thighs. It gives your low back a little tiny bit of length and release. Palms face up on either side of you, feet are floppy, head is heavy. If your ponytail is getting in the way, go ahead and take it out. Take that 5 seconds to adjust so you can be really, really, truly comfortable in Shavasana. So many of us lead really intense lives these days. And if you've been going through any kind of intensity, work-related, personal life-related, it might be beneficial just to take one more full breath. Let out a big sigh. Really feel all of the cells in your body settling down into this shape. There's no work to do. Your skin is draped over your muscles. Your muscles are draped over your bones. The bones have the support of the solidity, the solid ground beneath you. If you notice your mind wandering at all, bring it back to the inhale and to the exhale. See if you can create just a little more space between the breaths. Lengthening the exhale. Envision that breath, that fresh oxygen traveling to your fingers and to your toes, wiggling, inspiring little movement. Start to wake up and move very, very gently in a way that feels true to you. So it could be finger and toe wiggles, wrist and ankle circles. Or you could just stretch long through your body like you're yawning it out in the morning. As you're ready, please draw one knee to your chest and then the other. Rock a little bit side to side. Our time of transitioning off the mat is one of the most important parts of our yoga practice. So rock a little side to side and commit to keeping your eyes closed. Roll to your right side. Slowly press up through your palms, making your way to a seated position. The eyelids be heavy or eyes still be closed. Option to press your palms together over your heart in Anjali Mudra, or just to take your hands, palms down over the heart center. We'll take a collective breath in, big sigh out. And I invite you to share the sound of Om. Om has 3 sounds within it, the ah, oo, When the mouth is at its biggest, it represents the universe. When it's in the middle, it represents our communities. And then when our lips are closed, it represents our individual role. It's all connected, it's all one. Please join me first with a deep breath in.